I really don't know how to start this video. A few years ago, I was working as a concept artist, concept designer in the video game and design industry. I was having a blast. I was living my dream. It was all I could think about, all I could dream about. And to be honest, it felt like I had made it and done something. I was the one who made it out of my friend group into the industry and who got to experience this amazing career. I put myself through art school, put myself in a lot of debt going to art school, not even coming out with a job and having to actually go back to school to reteach myself things that my initial school never taught me. There's one thing that a lot of creatives don't talk about, especially with the work, and that is the stability. Because as a student, you're really not taught about the stability of the industry and how replaceable you are as an artist. I guess I just eventually got burnt out by trying to have this stable job, and then I got laid off. And I didn't get laid off just once. I got laid off twice, and I got laid off a third time. And losing your job in a way of a layoff, it hits different because for a creative person, you're creating things personally for yourself outside of work, but then when you're in work, you're creating things for your company. And it's hard not to get attached to that art you're creating. So in a sense, your identity becomes your work, and your work is what you're presenting at your job. And when you get laid off, it's just done. It's just gone. You have to find yourself again. I remember everybody starting their careers, starting their lives. Everything was moving along greatly. When a layoff happens, it feels like a glass is being shattered, and you have to pick up all the pieces and put them back together. And then I got laid off a second time, and I was picking the pieces back up from a piece of glass that had already been shattered and putting it back together. And then once I got laid off a third time, I guess I just didn't have the strength to pick up that glass, pick up those pieces of glass one more time to reconstruct a big piece of glass again that was just bound to be destroyed again. And it's so hard to think about because I tied so much into my work, and when something like that happens, you just feel so empty, so lost. Feel like you're not good enough. You feel like, why was it me? Why? And then you start thinking, why wasn't somebody else? I'm clearly better than them. But then you're also thinking, wait, they're also my friends, so why am I thinking like that? And it's just such a mix of emotions, and you have to write a LinkedIn post asking for work, and you have to seem like you're just attention seeking for a job because this and that, and you're cold emailing everybody you know, everybody you've talked to in the past year, maybe some people you haven't caught up with in a while. You're emailing them, you're trying to find work. It's like you're drowning in this sea of nothing, and you're reaching for a lifeboat, a life vest, just anything to frantically get you out. At the time, I actually lost my health insurance, my apartment, and the third time I got laid off, I actually lost one of my pets that same week. It was a roller coaster of emotions, and I have health issues, so health insurance is something I need. Stability is something I need. I had to start over, and needless to say, I'm a nurse now. And it feels weird to say, and it's gonna feel a little bit weird to say for a while. I think that's a part of why I wanted to create this YouTube channel, to document my experience of this career transitioning life event that's going on. Because I know I'm not the only one who's experiencing a big life change and trying to navigate through that change. So in a way, this is me documenting whatever changes happen. So I guess in a way, this is me documenting this new chapter in my life.